there was an article from the New York Times, and it said, "A look inside Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan lair." Manhattan lair. Look at how creepy this is. I want to show you guys for this picture here. So there's some weird, this is like a bronze structure within the atrium as they walked in. This is what the New York Times profiled throughout this article. It was a 7-story townhouse. And apparently that's some like bride sculpture or bronze figure hanging onto a rope as if, I don't know, she's escaping. I'm not sure what the meaning is. It's artwork, but one thing that it definitely is that it's creepy. Let's go to this next aspect of this. I want you guys to see this. This is crazy, this whole article. So it started off at the beginning. They said, as a gift for Jeffrey Epstein's 63rd birthday, friends sent letters in tribute to the wealthy financier and convicted sex offender. Several shared a common theme, recounting the dinner gatherings that Mr. Epstein regularly hosted at his palatial townhouse on Manhattan's Upper East Side. They found things that folks who visited saw and said. Ehud Barak, former prime minister of Israel, and his wife noted the great diversity of guests. Quote, there's no limit to your curiosity, they wrote in their message to his birthday book. And this was compiled with others in January of 2016. Think about the year. Quote more, you are like a closed book to many of them, but you know everything about everyone. Nothing necessarily nefarious or directly criminal there, but he definitely knows things about everyone, the guy that we know everything about now. Here's more from this article. The media mogul Mortimer Zuckerman suggested ingredients for a meal that would reflect the culture of the mansion. A simple salad and whatever else, quote, would enhance Jeffrey's sexual performance. It's like they know what he's all about. And the director Woody Allen described how the dinners reminded him of Dracula's castle, where Lugosi has 3 young female vampires who service the place. That's what Woody Allen wrote. And I think we know who wrote Woody Allen, what Woody Allen's all about. In case you didn't, there's just look up Woody Allen and incestual, predatory, pedophile behavior. Just search that up in case you don't know anything about Woody Allen. At least one other MAGA luminary also visited the townhouse, Stephen Bannon. A former advisor to Mr. Trump and an online media personality who has said that he videotaped hours of interviews at the mansion with Mr. Epstein in 2019. Famed photos of Mr. Bannon, including a mirror selfie snapped by Mr. Epstein, were kept in at least 2 rooms in that same mansion. He was close with Steve Bannon. He was close with Donald Trump. He's close with Bill Clinton. He's close with so many people. It's countless numbers of people. It's not like you can name 5 people. That's why this thing is so extensive that they're saying doesn't actually exist. And many of these folks, I'm sure just buddies and friends, came over for entertainment. It's in the middle of New York, hung out, saw the vast gifts and palatial setup that he had there, and were impressed by it. That's what rich, connected people do. Here's some of the pictures that the New York Times point out were involved there as well, too. There was Mr. Epstein smiling alongside Pope John Paul II, Mick Jagger, Elon Musk, and Fidel Castro in some of these pictures. As you can see, they circled those 4 faces that are involved there. He has framed pictures of so many people to show off how many people he was really connected with and who he knew. I mean, if you've got connections to people, why not show it off? It's pretty impressive, right? The whole point is to impress your fellow rich friends more. Also pictured were Larry Summers, former President Bill Clinton, and Richard Branson. As you see those circles around those faces, there's more pictures. This is, again, the New York Times expose on this mansion. Nearby was the photo from 2000 showing Mr. Epstein with Mr. Trump and future First Lady, minus Ghislaine Maxwell. If you guys have seen that photo before, it's the 4 of them standing there. And apparently there was a falling out between him and Ghislaine at some point, and he was upset. So in that picture, he illustrated just how much he was upset with her and didn't want her in those pictures. But again, he's all over the place with so many different people. These people, there's the right there's the just above the circled picture, there's Steve Bannon. I believe they're talking with either Bill Gates or Woody Allen. It's hard to tell from that angle and how far off it is. All these rich and connected people were hanging out in his palace. There's more pictures. Next to that was a framed dollar bill signed by Bill Gates, possibly as payment of a bet, because there was a quote on it. That's what he wrote. He said, "I was wrong." And that writing was written all over George Washington's face on that $1 bill. You know, it's like we see it in movies sometimes between rich people. In fact, specifically, the movie that I saw it in was the Eddie Murphy movie. I want to say Coming to America. It's not that. It's The movie with Dan Aykroyd where they flipped the script on the finance guys and the Wall Street guys who were screwing them over, and they bet $1 of whether or not they could change these two trading places, whether or not they could change these two guys' places in life and make one guy who's a connected Wall Street guy become like some kind of criminal, while they take what they took as Eddie Murphy's character, this criminal, and make him a successful Wall Street guy. They bet $1. Here's one more set of pictures that they then pointed out here. So, in this office, according to photos reviewed by the New York Times, Mr. Epstein showcased a green first edition of the book Lolita. If you guys don't know about Lolita, which I didn't either, it's a 1955 novel in which an intellectual develops a sexual obsession with a 12-year-old girl and repeatedly rapes her. Atop a wooden sideboard were more framed photos, including one of Mr. Epstein with Saudi Arabia's crown prince, Mohammed bin Salman. Just think about it. There's this brashness, there's this direct nature to how you feel like you're untouchable, the same way that people who are connected and untouchable act like it when they're around their buddies and their friends. He'll have a book of Lolita sitting there, first edition, probably the most expensive version that you can find. It's probably an exquisite shape because it's like his Bible, where the story's about this weird guy obsessing over a 12-year-old girl that he victimized repeatedly. Because that's nice casual reading. That's something to show off to your friends. Am I right? Here's some more pictures of the house. This is where it gets creepier and even more creepier somehow. Mounted on a corner above the bed was a surveillance camera, is what that photo shows. You see the circle above at the top. There's a surveillance camera that's over the bed and is in the bedroom area. And then also the article pointed out that this is now nearby near the spa area where massages were held, which other nefarious, disgusting activities happened that people found out when they found out about Jeffrey Epstein. More pictures of the adjoining room that was next to that bedroom. As you can see, the motif is quite similar. There was a second camera that can be seen in this room as well. Not sure if it's on the back end, if it takes other angles and shots of what it is that's going on in this room. Now, don't forget, there was cameras all over the place, or at least specifically in that room. So several of Mr. Epstein's victims have said that the mansion was outfitted with a network of hidden video cameras. Again, just pause for a second. I want you to wonder, or just consider, if there's a network of hidden cameras, is there anything recorded? Maybe we know who was in different areas of the house who committed maybe some kinds of acts that this guy committed. This is they're so buddy with him. But I forgot. There's no such thing as a file. There's no such thing as a list. There's no such thing as victims. They're all liars, cheaters, and stealers. And all the people who are rich and connected, all the way up to the president of the United States who's covering this up, have nothing to show. So in the massage room were paintings. By the way, graphic descriptions here happening. So in this massage room were paintings of naked women, a large silver ball and chain, and shelves stocked with lubricant. That's according to the photos that were reviewed by the New York Times. Mr. Epstein regularly directed teenage girls, some recruited from middle schools in Queens, to massage him while he was naked. Sometimes he masturbated in front of them. That's according to court records and interviews with victims. Sometimes he raped or assaulted them. But no surveillance cameras were visible in the photos of the massage room, is what the New York Times also pointed out. I want you guys to go back and remember what we were just talking about with Alan Dershowitz. And how he got that massage, but he kept his underwear on, and it was an older lady, but then his back was always turned. But he definitely, I guess there was underage girls walking around, but I didn't think anything different about it. There was just people who signed and submitted notes to his birthday book to talk about how he eats things to make sure he has great sexual performance, and also has books about a weird guy that was fiending over a 12-year-old girl before he assaulted her, and then has massage rooms with no cameras, with bedrooms with hidden cameras, and a whole network of cameras throughout the house, and how everyone talked about how he loved him some young girls, and also had an island where he flew people out to for whatever business they had in hand. If none of it happened, why was the dude in jail and why did he die there? I'm telling you guys, read the whole article. It's not that long, but it's long enough for you to be disgusted by everything that was happening and what they showed there that was going on. Sometimes you have to dig deep into these things and then see the network of how these things work. It's right there in front of you. It's right there in front of you. and they expect people to not believe any of this is happening. But what they want you to believe is that somehow Donald Trump was the election was stolen from him, or somehow all the people that they're running out of the country and up in the streets are violent criminals. They want you to believe cartoonish things, but don't want you to believe that this network of sexual trafficking that happened under Epstein, who was convicted of it, along with Ghislaine Maxwell, who's about to be pardoned for it in order to help him act like no one knows what's happening. They don't want you to believe that stuff.